I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here up in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank, come on with a dank. Skrillin' in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though?
The one, I almost said one Chris. Young Chris. His headphones are fucked up. I'm taking them out. Young Blessed is what we're calling him.
R.I.P.
Dude survived the car accident. I thought it was like it was like a little fender bender, but like
Beat the allegations.
it was on your side of the car.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, I got T-boned, so it was
Yeah.
it was honestly, it was a humbling experience. Like when I called my mom, that was one of the people I called when I got in the accident, and she was like, is your car fine? I was like, I mean the airbags went off, so it's probably totaled, but it looks okay. But it looked okay because the other car was like rammed into it, so I couldn't see the full damage.
Yeah.
So today I saw, and yeah, you know, young Blessed. I got a reason I'm here, right? Easy.
Yes, sir. And that's to serve this damn show.
Yes,
Woodward
sir.
Heavyweights.
Yes, sir.
You're Jalen Derlin of this whole situation right now, which is still kind of good.
It's
a
my
compliment.
punishment too. You know, I lost
Yes.
to pick 'em, so you
Yeah.
know. Oh yeah, I seen that bullshit. Y'all had Lucas picking for me. That don't count. I'm not wearing the suit because
I don't know
where my name was written. My name was written where Lucas's picks were, and ain't no damn way Lucas is. I'm not taking accountability for that. That's all.
What if he won? I mean, I don't even know.
I mean, if he wins, still, I mean.
If he wins, I'll take the
Yeah,
recognition.
no, for sure. If the accolades are good, then I'll take them. But if not, I'm not taking accountability.
This weekend was like so wild. Oh, by the way, shout out to Nick, filling in on the ones and twos.
Shout out.
Let's go. Back with the heavyweights. I'm
Let's
excited.
go, baby.
Victory Monday. Let's get it, boys.
Yes, sir. If you guys don't know, Nick started with the heavyweights, doing our reels and stuff like that too, and it's nice to see them all growed up in the TD booth, teaching the other guys how to work the sound booth too. That's big time now.
Life comes at you fast, man.
I forgot. Oh, because we have picks. I want to talk about like some of like the games this weekend, like.
Dolphins put up 70 on the Broncos.
Yeah, that
shit
was
is
wild.
That was crazy.
Dude.
The Bears,
70 points in
that
an
is
NFL
actually
game.
insane.
That doesn't happen.
I mean, I Devon A-Chain, or have you seen the name? 4 total touchdowns, 167 yards, just chilling on my bench.
Oof.
That hurt.
That does hurt.
That hurt. I also had, if you know, my league mates are listening, after everyone who vetoed that trade, I would have required George Pickens, A-Chain. Who was the other one? There's another good ass receiver. Not good ass receiver, but Moore from Chicago. Took a stack with him. What are you gonna say, Chris?
Speaking of fantasy, you know, the trading block's heating up for Kirk Cousins. I got a little inquiry. So
Did you?
You know, yes I did.
From
in
Lucas?
fact. I'm not telling. But the Kirk Cousins market is heating up.
I'm not telling.
All right.
Yeah. It's heating up. So get it while you can. You know.
That was wild.
I'm good.
That game, yeah, we're good.
You sure?
Yep.
I am sure.
All right.
I am sure. And then the game is crazy too. The Bears literally got cut off from television.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL was like, we can't service this as a product. This is pitiful,
The Bears suck.
disgusting.
Bears suck, man.
Cut off the television.
Yeah.
The KC probably could have put up 72 if they wanted. Mm-hmm. Just being honest. But I heard that Mike McDaniel had a mercy rule. He could have broke the all-time record for points scored in the NFL. He decided not to go for another field goal. It would have put up 73-20. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty wild.
That is wild as fuck.
Broncos are cooked, man. They got embarrassed. I mean, the Dolphins are really good. Mike McDaniel's probably the best play caller in the league right now. Best play designer in the league right now. So it's impressive to watch. You know, shout out Tua, shout out Tyreek. That stack's working out for me pretty well.
Yeah, that was a really good stack. And Mike McDaniel is one of the better coaches. And how about Sean Payton talking shit before the season started? By the way, I was on his side, and that whole thing came out. He's like, this is one of the worst coaching jobs I've ever seen. Dude comes out to fault an 0-3 start was set 50 points. Mm-hmm. He lost by. Nick, come on.
Let's ride. I love to see it. Having to go through all those Broncos games last year was brutal. I love to see them just sucking.
That was rough. And for some reason, I'm pretty sure I had it down as a loss for me. The Broncos-Lions matchup later this year. Feeling good about that one, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty damn good.
Yeah, Broncos are looking pretty trash, that's for sure. So shout out to them. Shout out to Sean Payton. Shout out to Russ. Let Russ cook.
Yeah, I was cooking some.
Where's Cash at? Why isn't Cash in the chat anymore?
Cash is gone.
He was in the chat heavy last week talking shit.
R.I.P. Cash, talking that Cash shit. He's supposed to buy a heavyweights jersey or shirt. Disappeared. I would have mine into the bet.
Disappeared like Bijan Robinson.
Disappeared like Bijan Robinson. Hey, listen, I have it right here in the beginning segment. Daddy told you. Well, I tell you about this run defense last week.
Yeah.
And I'm not specifically talking to you. I'm just talking about everybody. Well, anybody in the chat. I wasn't even looking at the chat that day. I was kind of hot. But anybody talking shit that day, I told you.
Stepped up.
Listen, stats are they're good and all.
And Desmond Ridder looked like ass.
Desmond Ridder did look like ass. But stats are good and all. But when they come with context, the context is what's like more important. The Detroit Lions run defense from last year until this year has been great. It feels crazy saying it, but it's been that.
Yeah.
And it proved it that way. Obviously, we're talking about the Detroit Lions game. We got lots more to go to. I want to shout out to my late Uncle Tom, passed away during the Lions game. Shout out my mom for calling me during the game. I can't wait. I'm sitting trying to have a good time. She called me and dropped that on me. And shout out to that guy, Row 99, for going into the Black Tennis Hall of Fame in Virginia.
Yeah.
That was pretty. I didn't even know.
I don't know. That was a thing, but that's dope. That's dope. Shout out to him. Shout out to the UAW National Negotiators for getting us the tickets.
Detroit.
And shout out to Ronnie Cyrus for getting us those on-field passes. Going down into the tunnel, hanging out with the boys. We saw Malcolm, Jerry, Brian Branch, all of them coming out after the game. That was a really dope experience.
That was dope. Dapped up Bijan. Actually, Chris, you got the pictures?
I could have swore. No, I'm playing. I got
Fun fact for anybody listening right now, and if anybody has season tickets, Nick, you too. The Detroit Lions are undefeated whenever the Woodward heavyweights are in attendance.
That is true.
This is just a factual statement. So I'm just saying, look, the boys are happy we're there. But the defense played phenomenal. Who we dapping up? 2 defensive players.
Yep.
I'm just saying, guys. Got any extra tickets? Can't make the game.
We dapped up Cam Sutton too as he was coming out.
Yeah.
Shouted out Jared Goff when he was walking by. He gave me the head nod.
I gave him the head nod. Yeah.
Penny Sewell said what's up. It was dope.
It was dope. It was dope. Like obviously we do this show and we're still fans of the team, but you forget it's crazy how many relationships we develop with some of these players through
and they hear this shit and they see this shit and they know us.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild.
Shout everybody so what up at the game.
Shout out to Dan Skipper. He came over.
Yeah.
Dan Skipper came over and was talking to us. Big Skip, Kobe Sorsdale shouted us out. It was dope, man. It was a dope experience.
Hit the stanky leg one time for Aiden.
Yeah.
That was how'd you feel with that celly, Nick?
I mean, it is what it is. It was ugly, but I love it.
It was one of the stanky legs. Did anybody get fooled by the limb? No, it's just too common now. Yeah. You see the guy in Jeopardy did it and hit the fucking twerk? Some guy in some game show did it. He was like run to the prize. He fell down.
Jesus.
Little back arc. Shout out to the Detroit Lions. Shout out to AG. We can get into all that good stuff, man. I can't wait. We got a segment here for specifically multiple rookies on this sheet right now for the show. We're going to talk about Brian Branch, rookie. Talk about Sam Laporta, rookie. I mean, how
Gibbs look good,
bro. Those are 2 second-round picks.
Yeah,
and they're balling. Picks.
They're balling. Looking like some of the best players on the team.
Man,
thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Thanks, JB.
You guys, I mean, that I don't know, man. I want to I have no negative things to speak on. I want to be like, oh, is that a real win? Do you think the Falcons are a little bit overrated? Which of course we do. No one's really scared of the Falcons to begin with, but you still dominated a team and didn't allow a single touchdown.
20-6.
Didn't allow a single touchdown. 7 sacks, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to fire AG. Chris, can you pull up the forum here? We have official forum, you guys. www.woodwardheavyweightshavebiguones.com. If you go /forums, you guys can send in this apology form for Aaron Glenn. I always do that.
Yeah, you do.
I always do that. Do we have it or no?
You didn't send it.
I didn't send it.
Could have sworn he did.
I could have sworn.
Yeah, but no, the defense looked great, man. Defense looked great. A lot of different stuff. Benito Jones got a sack. Charles Harris got a sack. Obviously, Hutch with 2. Jack Campbell got a sack. The dudes were flying around making plays, so I was impressed by that for sure. And, the Falcons have a good offensive line. But it honestly just makes me more upset that they couldn't get any pressure against Seattle after seeing that.
Pete Carroll's, I mean, one of the better coaches, man. I mean, hands down.
Arthur Smith is not.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, is it's one of the we want to say what's real, what's not. And I tried telling you guys on Friday that the Lions' run defense is real. Arthur Smith is a real run-heavy offensive coordinator and successful at that because he didn't become a head coach from there, too. And I know he had Derrick Henry, but don't forget, Tyler Algier had 1,000 yards last year.
Yep.
This was still a good running team last year for the Atlanta Falcons. You added Bijan on top of that, and then another offensive lineman, too, that got, I think it's Bergeron, at guard. They want to run the ball. That's their whole MO. They were 2-0 running the ball.
How do you feel about this from
And they
Nick
came
in
to
the
Detroit.
Woodward Sports chat? He says, settle down on Aaron Glenn. He's still on the hot seat.
Hey.
Packers will be the
Put it
actual
up, Chris.
test.
We're not doing none of that. Who's his name? Nick. Head over to Woodward Sports. No, I'm sorry. Woodward Heavyweights. GotBigOnes.com/forum. Fill out one of these, my guy. Fill out one of these. Because there's another thing about the AG stuff. All that energy was absent during the win streak last season. All that energy was absent. Didn't have come on, guys. Be real about the Seattle game. There were turnovers. It was all ugly. And I'm not saying the defense played well.
And check all that apply, by the way.
Check all that apply.
It doesn't have to be just one.
And you know, if you're kind of like scared of big government stuff like that, just use your first name. You don't put a last name. Date. I don't care. I mean, the date whenever you realize you were a dumbass and you want to send that apology form in. I want apology letters for AG. Nick, were you on that train? Were you on the Fire AG train?
I wasn't on Fire AG. I was at the point he's had to prove it to me because that Seattle game was abysmal. That was disgusting. I never want to see that defense again. If we couldn't get pressure to them, and we didn't blitz. The one time we blitzed, Kirby Joseph almost had a pick 6. So I wanted to see us get the pressure, and I'm happy that he showed out against a good Falcons team.
Yeah, he did absolutely that. Because another thing too is like you look at the 7 sacks. He got funky with it. He got into the playbooks and X's O's and made things work. And I did want to say this for the next topic. We'll just scoot everything up or down or whatever. We'll figure things out. But AG, last week your defensive line, your front four wasn't doing shit for you.
Yeah.
This week, guess who also was cashing in on sacks? Your rookie Jack Campbell. Yeah. Derek Barnes. Everybody. Aiden cashing on 2 of them. PBU. I mean, we're going in. And by the way, too, because Nick is the man, he decided to fill in for us. If you guys want to call in and give us your opinion, if you still want to speak garbage on AG, feel free, call in. I will say this though, playing the Packers this week. If any Packers fans call in, this guy Nick has a history of just shutting shit down. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He literally will hang up on you in the middle of it. But you guys, I mean, call in. I want to see you hanged up on him. I'm cool with that. Spinny, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. I had a lot of fun. Obviously, the game was awesome. I went out the night before, so it was a long day for me that day. But it was fun. Lions won. Michigan State looked like ass, but, we keep going. Wait for basketball season in that factor. But
How about the Ohio State game?
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a Ohio State fan, but the shit talking at the end of it by Ryan Day, that was hilarious. Kind of cringy.
It is kind of cringy.
Was it naturally cringy, or is it because I'm like a Michigan?
Ryan Day is just a cringe guy. He's a cringy kind of guy.
Like he has to be dyeing that beard. There's no way. Is he dyeing the beard?
Oh, dyeing the beard? Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, no doubt on that one.
Beard's not real. And also, Chris threw something in the chat or in the heavyweight Slack that I'd love to point out too. We're talking about the Bears getting kicked off of national television. Who does Justin Fields look to for motivation? Who? None other than the Detroit Lions. It was quoted, Justin Fields, when they were talking about the 0-3 start. He says, all we need is one to get this thing going. The Lions started 1-6 last year and almost made the playoffs. Yaze, blase, blah, 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 blah. That's all I need to hear from the Chicago Bears quarterback.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker.
Motherfucker wish he was on the Detroit Lions, huh?
Facts.
MVP candidate, huh? Division winner, huh?
King of the North, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck Justin Fields, man. That's your fantasy quarterback. How's he doing in fantasy?
Not
So he got
great.
like 3 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, not great. But I'm still riding out. I mean, the Bears were the number 1 overall pick last year. He was QB6. Fantasy's different from like real ball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Like I would take a quarterback that's on like a shitty team, because he's constantly be throwing the ball. I took a receiver that's on a shitty team, constantly throwing the ball, trying to get back in the game. That's,
Right. The fantasy value of Justin Fields made all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that he's underperformed.
John in the
way he
Woodward
is
Sports
from that.
chat says 34-28 Green Bay.
John, brother, what are you drinking, brother? What are you smoking on, brother? Is weed even legal in Wisconsin? Have you been going to Dispo? You're making trips up to Michigan? You might as well just come over to the dark side, become a villain with us, Detroit Lions fans. We in this thing. Come over, John. We'll
Speaking
take
of Wisconsin, my boy from Wisconsin came to town this week, so I was chilling with him, kicking it with him. That was a good time. Came to see family.
Chris
friends,
crashed his car because he was getting roadhead.
Yeah, he's getting roadhead.
Confirmed.
All right, let me tell you guys about Big Boy. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert, including the chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Satisfy your taste buds with the funnel cake fries. All that and more at Big Boy.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football in the brain? Fall ushers in college professional football, and this year's going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they can cover you too. Ask for Mark personally at 248-800-4177 or visit SwissINS.com. That's 248-800-4177 or SwissINS.com. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, joined my guys from more Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, a.k.a. Young Bless. Nick on the ones and twos, filling in for JB. Shout out.
Let's
if you guys
go.
want to call and express an opinion, if you guys want to call in and talk your shit, the number's in the chat, 313-552-6322. Make sure you guys hit the like button before, so spin. We got some rookies in the sheet.
Yep.
We got some second-year guys in the sheet.
Yep.
Got some brand new Detroit Lions in the sheet.
Yep.
I know it's in order right now, but who do you want? Who are you most excited to talk about?
I want to talk about the defense. I want to talk about the defense. I want to talk about Aaron Glenn. Like you said, this does not, clean the sins of his past. This was a great performance. It was a great game plan, and they absolutely shut down the Falcons. They held this Falcons team, who has a guy who rushed for 1,000 yards last year, a guy who you believe is a top 5 back in the league, and Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier as their twin-headed monster in the backfield, and the Lions held them down to 45 combined rushing yards. 45 yards between Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson on 17 carries. They went out there and they went for throats. They didn't stop. They weren't playing soft. Brian Branch making plays in the backfield. Derek Barnes making plays in the backfield. The interior defensive line holding up. It was impressive. Now, again, this does not wipe away the sins of Aaron Glenn's past. Like, the Seattle performance was still abysmal, and still you don't get a pass for that. But a new week is a new week. A new team is a new team. And they went out there with a great game plan to shut down a team. You knew what you had to do to beat the Atlanta Falcons. It's stop the run and make Desmond Ridder beat you, because he's not going to. And what did they do? They stopped the run and tried. Desmond Ridder had to beat us, and he didn't. That team, led by Desmond Ridder in this passing attack, who threw the ball 38 times. He does not throw the ball 38 times. But because they were shutting down the run so much and got ahead, they were forced to throw the ball, which led them to a total of 6 points. It was extremely, extremely impressive performance by the defense and a great game plan installed by Aaron Glenn.
Talk about the past, since the past. And anytime we're talking about AG, Chris, feel free to put the form up, all right? www.suckadick.com. I don't even know. Maybe that might be a real site. Maybe don't go to that one. But
Probably is.
Probably is. Might sign for something else. Don't fill out those forms. Speaking of the past, Aaron Glenn's been doing this.
Yeah.
I told you guys all week last week. Only 4 human beings rushed for over 100 yards against the Detroit Lions in the past 2 years now. Mm-hmm. This is the real
running
deal.
Backs.
And running backs. And you want to talk about like the pass again too? Like past, I'll give you the reality of it. Pete Carroll does own the Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. But the AG situation last week, we talked about it, is amount of the turnovers on downs. You have the turnovers for the fumbles. You have the pick six. There's other shit that factored in to that final score to make you guys think that, AG's garbage. The apology form is up, guys. Apologies form is up. AG's been this, and he's got some pieces in his defense.
Pass for the Seattle game because of this performance.
It's not a pass. I was never on the fire AG train. That was all complete bullshit. And yeah, I'm not as critical of that game because I'm a fucking realist. I look at the whole situation. The shit went down. The ball was turned over. The defense put in shitty situations a lot of those times in that Seattle game. I'm not here to argue about it. That's the fact of the matter.
Yeah,
you talk about the head coach Dan Campbell speak about it. He gave you that too.
They also couldn't get pressure on Geno Smith to save their lives.
They couldn't.
That is the biggest factor.
And guess what? They cashed in on 7 sacks this season.
They did.
This week.
They did.
The week's over, actually. That was Sunday.
Yeah.
7 of them things. And you know what? He did change things up. We had GQ on the show. GQ said, you know what? Sometimes it partly on the pros, partly on the X's and O's. And you look at the situation last week with the defensive line, wasn't getting nothing. AG got a little bit more freaky this week. And guess what he did? 7 of them things. You got to talk about earlier before the show even started. Linebackers in there. And on top of that, once you get those guys going, much like Jeff, I sided with Jeff. You guys were listening for the pregame show when Neil was kind of attacking Aiden Hutchinson. It's like you do need another guy there every once in a while. And to like, if you want to like criticize AG a little bit too, although he already does this. Micah Parsons is getting double teamed every single play too. He's getting moved around. He's a linebacker though. He kind of like free roam, do whatever he wants to do. Pause. This has got anything to do with anything. But did you watch the Myles Garrett Titans? Titans put 2 tight ends on him, and they followed him no matter where he went.
Really?
So he forced a delay of game just because he noticed it. So he kept switching sides of the defensive line. So the tight ends had to like follow him. They couldn't like snap the ball.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But AG stepped up. If you want to say that, I'm here with that for 2. I think the players stepped up as well. Aiden Hutchinson with the stanky legs, try to get you guys with the fake injury, but then, finish with that thing. And another sack fumble, recovered the fumble. I mean, he's looking like the number 2 overall pick.
Yes.
That was nice to see. I wonder how much of effect Isaiah Buggs had being back in the game.
I mean, it definitely brought a presence. It makes it easier for those interior defensive guys when you have that rotation, so they're not as gassed. When you got those big uglies in there, they're going to need some breathers. And so switching them out, having a guy like Isaiah Buggs, who is a consummate professional, you know what he's going to bring to you. He's as solid as it gets. Having him in there to spell a couple of those guys definitely helps. Putting in fresh legs. And, yeah, the defensive game plan against the Falcons, it was a lot easier to game plan against the Falcons than it is the Seahawks. You know what the Falcons bring. The Falcons are going to want to run the ball, and they have a mid-ass quarterback who can't throw the ball. So you know you need to stop the run. And if you stop the run, you're probably going to win the game. And that's exactly what the Lions did. They went out there, shut them down. Again, a guy who rushed for 1,000 yards last year in Tyler Algier. The number 1 running back in the draft this year, a guy who by all counts is a freak of nature in Bijan Robinson, combined for 45 yards. That is just extremely impressive on behalf of the Lions. And it was a great game plan schemed up by Aaron Glenn.
And I got to be honest with you, too. Like, the way the NFL works, if you guys have been watching for longer than 7, I go down to 7, fucking 10 years. If you've been watching for the league for 7 years at this point, you know every once in a while your team's going to have a stinker. You know the Colts every once in a while are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that was kind of crazy. But you know the same way, though, the Texans beat the Jaguars yesterday.
Cardinals beat the Cowboys.
And especially, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen. And it happened to the Detroit Lions last week. Ultimately, they did muster up, and they brought themselves back in that game. The best part, I like to say, too, Smitty, and this is like a defensive thing. It's just a thing I want to get off my chest, is like, how many injuries Detroit Lions had in this game?
6 or 7.
And not a single time were you able to look at this game and use that as an excuse.
Tracy played great.
Tracy played phenomenal.
Loved seeing Tracy
2 drop
come
picks.
back. He was making hits. He was making his presence felt, breaking up passes. Jerry Jacobs, shout out Jerry, had a huge bounce back performance, was making a lot of great plays, and we got more guys to talk about, but the defense as a whole was very impressive, very impressive.
How about Ife Melifonwu, by the way? I told you guys Friday, too. That's the guy I'd rather have in the field. Ife Melifonwu played great, too.
Very good. And, you know, for all this and more, you want to catch Woodward Knights because they're going to be breaking down this game, too. Woodward Knights coming up after us. Weekdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Check out Broder, Booner, Nick, and our guy Jalen. Woodward Knights, 8 to 10 p.m. Check it out. But, yeah, it was an impressive performance. The secondary, which you were very harsh on Friday.
Yeah.
All of them played fantastic. Guys in roles, guys that haven't played, like a Tracy Walker, he hasn't played yet this year. Like an Ife Melifonwu, he hasn't played yet this year. Making plays. Going out there making plays. Cam Sutton doing what Cam Sutton does. Again, you watch the game, you don't hear Cam Sutton's name called. Because he's always in position, he's always making plays, and he doesn't get beat. And that's impressive. When you're an offensive lineman or a cornerback, you don't want to hear your name called.
Correct.
Because normally if your name is continuously called as one of those positions, you're getting cooked. So the secondary went out there and balled, man. Hats off to those guys, all of those guys. Like we said, obviously CJ GJ, we lost him. Kirby was out this game. 2 new safeties, fresh up. first game played this year. Iffy and Tracy Walker both put out amazing performances. Jerry Jacobs, huge bounce back performance. We're going to get into Brian Branch. He's got his own segment because the dude was an animal. And then Cam Sutton just doing Cam Sutton things.
Listen, Tracy Walker, poetic justice, man. 364 days the last time he played an NFL game. Making a start this past Sunday for the Detroit Lions. I thought played phenomenal.
Yes.
Had 2 drop picks. One, I got okey doked, and Dan Campbell too. He threw the challenge flag.
I thought, it was close. He tried to pin it behind his legs.
Yeah.
Dude was making plays. He was everywhere. It was impressive to watch.
But beyond that was a presence in the field. He had that one big hit on Jonnu Smith. He was aware he was there. I think a similar thing happened. I don't know if it was Hollins or another one of their tight ends, but he started hitting one of the crawling, you know what I'm saying, the freaking down in Fortnite. He needed your partner to come save you. Was just crawling. Like Tracy was out there. If he was out there putting hits on guys too, it was beautiful. And shout out to my guy Scott Bischoff. As soon as Iffy Malfon was drafted, we had the conversation how we did with him in the last draft class too, and you're making your predictions and whatnot. We looked at Iffy as a 6'3" corner and not the fastest guy, and knowing that Aaron Glenn's like a man dude, a man coverage guy. There you go. Man dude friend bro. And we're like, that guy's gonna be a safety. There's no way he's gonna be like a corner in this situation. And I didn't know how that was gonna translate, but I loved. That's why I talked about having him on the field on Fridays, because like the run defense, I told you guys, you didn't believe me. It was there. It's been there for the Detroit Lions consistently. The passing defense, the secondaries, everything has been in question for me. So that's why I'd rather have the Iffy out there, because you have a guy who could play the run a little bit as a safety and a former cornerback who plays well against the pass. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Desmond Ridder is like the most accurate guy or the greatest quarterback, but he makes the right reads. And luckily enough, whoever it was, Tracy, Iffy, Cam didn't even get targeted in this game.
No.
We have a whole segment towards Cam. We dapped up Cam after the game. I almost wanted to hug the man.
Yeah.
I wanted to embrace him.
Yes.
I don't remember the last time Detroit Lions had a cornerback. I do remember. It was Darius Slay.
Yes.
But I didn't have those expectations for him coming here right away. I didn't know he was going to be that. God bless the man.
Dude's clamps outside.
Only 28 years old. He's one of the leaders of this team too, man. But listen, again, apology form's in there. You wanted to fire AG last week. How you feeling this week? Matter of fact, the phone number's up there too. Call in. I want to hear you. Sorry, I don't want to hear your shit. Actually, fuck that. We're talking about this win.
We're going to talk about this win. We're going to talk about Brian Branch coming up next, because he was arguably the most impressive player on the field. Him or Aiden Hutchinson or Sam Laporta, you could toss it up between those guys. But we're going to talk about Brian Branch coming up next. But first, let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. You can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams. An all-expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf. Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 track pin simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first time visit, and visit 5irongolf.com to tee up good times. It's 5irongolf.com. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, woodwardsports.com. We got my guy Spinny, Young Bless, putting on the leader suit right now.
Bless, highly favorite, all that
good stuff. We got Nick on the 1s and 2s. Nick, we're kind of amped up the last segment. You want to speak of the defense at all?
Let's go. I just like that we brought pressure and we finally got home. I think that's what everybody wanted to see out of AG, was to bring pressure. And speaking of that, it makes the job easier on Cam Sutton and guys like that to do really well on the outside when you're getting pressure to that quarterback.
Yeah, it's hard to blame the secondary when you can't get to a quarterback. If a quarterback in this league has 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball, there's no secondary that'll be able to hold on to receivers for that long. So
yeah,
it was definitely important that they did that, and they went out there and do that. Sacks from multiple different guys on the team, linebackers getting in the mix, and Benito Jones had a sack. Obviously, Hutch had 2. But still, I think the most important and most impressive performance
MVP of the game
on this entire roster was Brian Branch. This man was everywhere. He put up a ridiculous stat sheet. He had 11 tackles in the game, all of them solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 pass defenses. Remember, this is a guy that every single team in the NFL passed on. This is a guy who came back for day 2 of the NFL draft because he wanted to walk that stage, because he wanted his moment. And he got his moment, and he got another one on the biggest stage Sunday afternoon at Ford Field, playing like a demon, putting Bijan Robinson on the ground multiple times, breaking through the line of scrimmage and getting tackles in the backfield, in the run game, in the pass game. The man was everywhere. He was making plays. I shouted him out after the game. He was walking by. We saw him when they were walking up the tunnel. I was like, second round, huh? Tell him about the second round. And he looked at me. He gave me a smile and a nod and kept walking, because he knows he's this good. He knew he was this player. Brad Holmes knows he's this good. Brad Holmes knows he was this type of player. And he went out there and showed us. He's looking like one of the best defensive rookies in the NFL, if not the best defensive rookie in the NFL. And this is a guy you got in the second round.
Yeah. And before the season started, we were sitting there at the bar before we were watching the game here for the live stream. I put the money down on Brian Branch for Defensive Rookie of the Year, plus 2,500. I bet those odds have changed. Those odds changed drastically. Dude was all over the field. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to try to hold myself back from it, watching the game back. He's just him, bro. I didn't want to use. Sometimes I say crazy things, only because it's the only way I could articulate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a baby version of this. Baby version of this.
Don't say Ed Reed.
No. But a little bit of Charles Woodson, a little bit of Honey Badger. And the crazy part too is, we saw Brian Branch at the end of the game walking through the tunnel. So we gave him a little shout out. But just his mannerisms in itself, he seems like just kind of to himself, kind of shy. Even if you go and listen to some of his interviews, he's just a reserved guy. You love those type of guys because their life, their everything at that point, the things they are passionate about is football. Mm-hmm. And another thing too is I also noticed how kind of small he was, and I saw it. I took that as a good thing. Because he's still a young man.
Yes.
He's still growing into his body. Old. Yeah, he's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. And he's going to get better. He's just a rookie doing these things. 11 solo tackles.
Yes.
3 of them for a loss.
Yes.
2 PBUs. He was all over the place.
He was everywhere. He was making plays. One of his pass breakups, he showed off the vertical. The man got up, tipped the ball before it got to the receiver on the sideline, and he was in the run game is what impressed me the most. Mm-hmm. We knew he was a sure tackler. We knew he had great instincts. But the way he can get through the line of scrimmage into holes and make tackles in the backfield like that isn't something you could teach. That is awareness, that is feel, and it's just overall good football IQ. Brian Branch had the most impressive performance out of any Detroit Lion last year. Last week. I know it's close with Aiden Hutchinson. Sam Laporta also went out there. Jared Goff had a fantastic game. But Brian Branch was everywhere. He was making it hell for Desmond Ridder and Bijan Robinson. The refs had to flag him because he was too damn good. He ran up there and cracked Bijan and put him on the ground. And the ref said, no, that had to be illegal. Nobody smacks that dude like that. Yeah. No, Brian Branch went up there, smacked him. Bijan was scared, so he put his helmet down, and his helmet went flying. That was a perfect tackle by Brian Branch. Bijan lowered his helmet, and Brian Branch got flagged for it. So you take that flag away, that's 12 solo tackles, 4 tackles for loss. This guy is a monster, man.
He's a beast. And he's out there playing like a vet. A lot of times you see defensive backs with that many tackles, you're like, oh, that must mean you're getting ran all over. No. He's in the backfield. He's stepping up on these run plays and knocking their shit back. And like you said, too, I mentioned playing like a vet. Because he had some vet shit to say. Yes. They did that video, Chris. He wants to set the tone. It's a certain reason why he hit Brian with Bijan. He didn't give a fuck. He was going to knock him down.
Our zone coverage, I had nobody coming until Bijan came out to my zone, and it was just licking my chops, knowing that he didn't see me coming, and quarterback still threw it. So, yeah.
So when the flag comes out, are you like, what are you talking about?
I'd rather shoot. Hey, I show my show him that I'm not scared to tackle, and I'll take the flag, to be honest.
And look, man, you love that because one of the comps I just made was with the honey badger. Mm-hmm. The honey branch. Honey branch don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Honey branch don't give a shit.
Honey branch ain't never scared.
He ain't never scared.
Yeah. He said, fuck it. Fuck them flags. I love that shit, bro. Set the tone. Show Bijan that you're not scared if he's out in the backfield. This is a guy that was making veterans, NFL veterans, look silly the first 2 weeks of the season. Brian Branch said, fuck that shit. You're in my house now. You're in my zone. I'm going to come up and lay the lumber on you. That shit was beautiful, man. I was so mad he got flagged for that, but, it is what it is. Lions had like three flags picked up in like the first quarter of that game. I was like, what the fuck's going on? That never happens. But Brian Branch, man, beautiful game. All over the place, making plays. He looked like the best player on the field.
It's like every single tackle that was made. I mean, obviously we were there. We watched it in person. I watched it back today, before coming in. Bro, it's like every single play, Brian Branch was there. Even if he didn't make the tackle, he's in the vicinity. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, too, he has his playmaking skills on the ball. If they do throw his way, unfortunately, he's him. We got one. And it's just so nice to have. Like, we had GQ in the back half of his career. We signed him in a second contract or third contract, whatever it was. It's nice to have like a homegrown product, a piece that like is kind of embedded in the culture and within the city, and you may just have it for like years to come.
And he's already got the chip on his shoulder. We talked about he was the last player there, the only player to come back day 2. Will Levis wasn't there. Michael Mayer wasn't there. Players that probably had first-round grades didn't come back. Brian Branch came back. He knows. You don't give guys like this a chip on their shoulder. Like, that's not something you do. That is dangerous for the rest of the league. To have a guy like this with this kind of passion, this kind of drive, this kind of high football IQ, and just overall talent, to have a chip on his shoulder too, it's dangerous for the rest of the league. This kid's going to be here for a while. I love it.
Such a freaky hole. I love it. What up, Chris?
And let's not forget this part. The Packers are the reason why we were able to get him in the draft. So this Thursday, it's going to be the first time Brian Branch plays them. I'm expecting another big game. And it's so wild to think that the best player on this defense might be a second-rounder in Brian Branch. Best player.
Yeah. Second-round rookie.
Rookie. Yeah. Just insane. I love to see it.
It's too good to be true type stuff, I mean, even in the disappointing game of last week, I don't really think of Brian Branch as like, other than like the missed sack that he had, that wasn't one of the guys. I mean, a lot of the abuse went to Jerry.
Yeah.
Brian Branch he's just a fucking rookie.
He is a dog.
And he one of his favorite things he said about the game, you mentioned like when they asked him, he said, I like the way I shot the gaps today. And he saw those 3 TFLs. There was one play where I kind of got nervous. The only thing that scared me about the Atlanta Falcons run game that I was a little bit nervous about was the fact that there was 2 of them. Mm-hmm. Like Tyler Algier is respectable, and Bijan is him. So like, they could catch you off kiltered. But Tyler Algier had a catch, and he trucked through Anzalone. He trucked through like 2 more guys and had to gang tackle him down. And the very next play, they ran the ball with Algier, had him in the backfield, trying to get him going. Get the steam engine rolling. Right away shut down. Yeah. Brian Branch in the backfield. And not just a tackle, a little sit your ass down. And that's a guy who's putting his shoulder down and knocking dudes, a linebacker in Alexander Maloney, over like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, that was...
The very next play, Brian Branch said, okay, fuck that. Nope.
Yeah.
Got him in the backfield for a loss. Mm-hmm. Solo, by himself. We got one.
It's impressive, man.
Shout out to Brad Holmes.
Shout out to Brad Holmes. He does it again. This man does it again. Like, even the guys that you were like, all right, maybe this is a bust, maybe this is a bad pick from Brad Holmes. If he looked like a good player out there, that is one of the question marks on Brad Holmes' drafting resume was Ife Melifonwu. And he was out there yesterday making plays.
Yep.
The secondary as a whole, we talked about it. Jerry Jacobs, big bounce back game. He was hype. He heard all the noise last week. He was disappointed in himself last week. He goes out there this week, and he plays a fantastic game. Yep.
And Elway is right. It was Anzalone and Branch who missed that tackle. That's exactly what it was. It was Anzalone got trucked right away.
Yeah.
And then Branch was the second line of defense. And then they had to gang tackle him later on. Mm-hmm. The very next play, Branch said, all right, I got to get my lick back.
Yep.
Got to get my lick back.
And he did.
Oh, man, there's one other thing I was about to say, and I forgot what the hell it was. I don't know. I guess because I kind of apologize to Brad Holmes a little bit, too. I know he caught some slack last week with the Jalen Carter stuff because we needed a Jalen Carter last week. But having a Brian Branch. And by the way, too, for Brian Branch, a little motivation. Because not only you get the second round, 32 of the teams passed up on you. You also had a team, they're so arrogantly full of themselves in their assessment of you as a player that they traded you to the division opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the Green Bay Packers. And now you got your chance to get your lick back, your revenge game on them.
In Lambeau.
In Lambeau this Thursday.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that. Because that's just disrespectful. Not only did they not want you, they gave your pick to the Detroit Lions in their division.
Timothy Belts says Brian Branch Defensive Rookie of the Year is now plus 1,600.
Shout out to Timothy Belts for pulling that up there.
Climbing up the ladder fast.
Wilson with another good comment too. He says best part is he's not throwing his body around and risking injury at all. Clean tackles. Remember Louis Delmas?
Yeah.
Was laying the fucking boom every time he made tackle, but was hurt all the goddamn time because of it.
Yeah.
Jeff Okudah was the same way too. Jeff Okudah was smacking guys last year. Hurt. But he hit the field a couple times too. I saw Amara hit him on a run block. Give him a little back and forth. Said what up to him after the game too. But man, I love the violence, the hungerness out of that Detroit Lions defense yesterday, and Brian Branch was very much a big part of that.
The Ronan99 in the chat. Again,
shout out Ronan99.
Yeah, shout out to him for getting inducted. And he says the Virginia Black Tennis Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
That's dope.
Yes, sir.
It's dope.
I took the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shout
the
out
Black
to
Tennis
him,
Hall
man.
of Fame. Shout out to Ronan99.
That is fire.
Day one
for sure. But we are going to be right back, and we're going to talk about another Lions defender who went crazy, that being Aiden Hutchinson. But first, Easy, tell us about Fairway.
I still want Jalen Carter too, Dr. D. I shout out to Dr. D and the union for giving us those tickets too. But for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Goes provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef and Wagyu beef and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods or for grab-and-go steaks. Order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Schnurry, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends, live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. You can do that at drinksyntron.com/Vegas or at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice for people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best version of themselves. Wow, wait. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, spin more racks.
What up, though?
Young Chris, a.k.a. Young Blessed. Nick on the 1s and 2s.
Okay, Young Chasing Bacon.
Young Chasing Bacon.
Chasing Bacon.
Hey, that name's stuck in the chat.
Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. How nice to talk defense.
It is.
Positively.
We do have a caller on the line that we're going to get to, and
Okay.
then we're going to talk about Aiden Hutchinson. But first, I want to read this comment in the chat from D. Smitty. He said, "Dare I say, Branch is looking like Sean Taylor." I like that comp.
Huh?
I like that comp.
I like that. Who's looking like Sean Taylor?
Brian Branch.
100%.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like that too. That's a really good guy. I was reading a comment.
That was a good comp. That was a good comp. I like that one. Obviously, Sean Taylor gone too soon, but was a fantastic playmaker. Did a lot of different things very well. If he can have a career like that, I mean, obviously he was cut short because of a tragedy, but it would be amazing if he could be that type of player.
The Honey Brancher, but we got to give him his own nickname, B2 Bomber. We got caller? Who we got next?
Yes, sir. We got Salty. Salty, you're live on air.
Salty,
What up,
what's
though,
going
Salty?
on, brother?
What's cracking? How y'all doing?
Pretty
Good,
good,
man.
pretty good. How
Good.
about yourself, man?
Victory Monday, man. It feels good to
Yes,
be a
sir.
Lions fan this week.
Hell yeah.
I just wanted to let y'all know, this is a Brian Branch revenge tour. Okay, Atlanta should have took a safety in the draft, and they drafted a running back. So there it is right there. Now Green Bay, who was up next, they actually traded us the pick to get Branch.
Yeah.
So, he's out here laying, he's smacking down. He is the Amon-Ra of the defense. He is, and he's the real deal.
It's facts, dude. He keeps
so
receipts, man. He keeps receipts.
He's so young. Like, you telling his mannerisms and the way he speaks, like his personality is football. He's hungry. He had the situation happen with his dad, like, and he dedicates the game. The love of it is for football, man, and he's a dog at it. How you feel about Jared Goff's MVP odds?
Well, you know what? I'm still in the same boat with Goff, fellas. I mean, look. Goff is what he is. Now, these guys that get up there and say, oh, he's playing better than Pat Mahomes and he's such a great quarterback. We haven't had one game in almost 3 years that Goff has taken over and actually played, and we won because of Goff. Okay? Now, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's a serviceable guy, right? He's decent. As long as he don't turn the ball over, we got a chance to win.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's worth $60 million a year. I still stand by that.
I'm with you on that.
MVP of the game?
MVP of the game got to be Branch, man. It's got to be.
And I'm with you, Salty, on how you feel about Goff. I'm not paying him that much money either, but he did have a great game against the Seahawks, and he had another great game last week. But the one thing I liked against the Falcons that he has refused to do since he's been here is he was taking the 5 yards on the ground when it was in front of him. I don't need you to be Lamar Jackson. Yeah. I don't need you to be Cam Newton. I don't need you to be, Josh Allen. But if there is 5 yards there, you take it. You're a professional athlete, and you're not 100 years old. You should be able to get 5 yards on the ground when it's wide open. And he did, and I was happy with that.
Salty, I appreciate you calling, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Keep up the good work, man. Spending good job on the haircut. Everybody celebrate at the dispo, man. Let's buy all the blue Kool-Aid flavor gummies we can eat.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep it going, man. Take it to Lambeau. We'll see y'all.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you, Salty. Thanks. Shout out Rachel for the haircut.
Shout out Rachel. It's sorry. It's an insider because you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember the topic. What were we talking about? So Hutch? Talking about Branch?
We can keep going. Do we have any more callers? Call in, boys. Let's hear your reaction. Come on. It's Victory Monday. You guys are all quiet. You guys talking shit about Salty calling in the chat. Why don't you call in? Let's hear what you got to say. Shout out Salty. Always appreciate him calling in.
All right, how about this? We'll go with Aiden Hutchinson. Man landed 2 sacks.
Yes.
Had a PBU himself.
Yes.
And was just all over the place feeling himself.
Do we have the graphic with his total stat line? PFF put it out there. It was such a good game. Such a good stat line. They had to leave some shit out. 5 pressures, 2 sacks, 1 batted pass, 9.18 PFF grade, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. The man was everywhere. He was looking unguardable. He was I guarantee Desmond Ridder, sore as hell, I know after that game, sleeping at home, waking up scared as fuck because he thinks Aiden Hutchinson's still coming after him. The man looked dominant. That's what I expected out of year 2 Hutch. And I'm not saying he looked bad the first 2 weeks because he didn't. He was everywhere. He was all over the field making plays, but he finally cashed it in, and I know he was feeling relieved after that. Because you can play as well as you want, and realistically, he's been one of the best edge rushers through the first 3 weeks with the amount of pressure he's getting on the quarterback, the different things he's doing. But to finally cash it in with sacks, he has to be relieved, and I was happy for him. He deserved it. Hit the stanky leg a couple times, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy for Hutch. Guy looks like a beast.
I mean, he was out there, and he quite literally looked like number 2 overall pick.
Yes.
He was doing number 2 overall pick type things. I mean, you see the PBU, the sack, fumble, and the recovery of the fumble. Like this offseason, it was rumored that he was working out with J.J. Watt, and I got geeked over that. I think that's a perfect guy for Hutch to be in the offseason working with because J.J. played smart. He wasn't just a savage just getting to the quarterback and knocking him, throwing him on the ground. What his nickname was J.J. SWAT.
Yeah.
He's getting his hand up there and getting the PBUs. Because if you can't get the sack, if you get your hand up there and get that's just as good, in my opinion. I mean, it's just a waste of play.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that out of him. After last week going up against secondary left tackles and right tackles and whoever the hell else, and it not working out. You also got to see him get multiple work from multiple sides of the line too. You saw him go inside in a couple third downs too, and generate an interior rush, which the Detroit Lions didn't have at all last week.
No, it was impressive. It was an impressive performance. He was everywhere, and like I said, he's been everywhere the first couple weeks of the season, but he finally cashed it in this week, and I know he felt relieved. And we do have some more callers on the line, but first let me tell you guys about the Woodward post-game show. You can go check it out after every single Lions game, hosted by our guys Maz and Stick every week directly after all Lions games. Go check it out. It's the Woodward post-game show only on woodwardsports.com.
Check it out.
Check it out. Nick, we have a caller on the line?
Yes, sir. We got a few of them. So we're going to lead off with Dom in Michigan.
Dom in Michigan. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
What up, boys? Happy Victory Monday! Let's go!
Hell yeah, baby. Dom.
Bring the energy, boys. Hey, you asked for the calls, we give the calls, all right? Hey, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. I called you guys a couple times last year. But I just want to shout out real quick, Chris and Nick. Good job on everything. You guys, everything's going really well. But back to Lions. Hey, that's what Brad Holmes is here for. To be honest, starting this week, the only thing that was, lingering from the previous week was, those those tackles that the Seahawks had, that the backup tackles that we were supposed to attack, and we never got to that point. So this week was that, kind of concerning week for us, true Lions fans, that we've been talking all this stuff during summer, and we had that one loss to the Seahawks, and we came back, and Brad Holmes goes out this year, and every single year you go draft people that can play multiple positions. And so we have these injuries this week, which makes it even more concerning. But that's what Brad Holmes is there for. He spots the talent of people that can move over and play multiple roles on the defense, multiple roles on the offense, and that's what a true NFL team is supposed to be. That's what the Lions. That's what we're hoping for. And I'm just pumped for next week already, for Thursday.
That's facts. That's facts.
This
Dom.
week. That's how crazy the game's here already, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you calling in, Dom.
Appreciate you calling in, Dom. And that,
yep, thanks, boys.
He's right. And I know I got clowned on this because I was hammered on the pregame show before week one, and I kept saying versatility. But it is the versatility of these players that attracts Brad Holmes to them. The versatility of a Brian Branch, the versatility of an Ifeanyi Famu. These defensive backs and different players that he takes high is because they could play multiple positions. That's why they keep not Damian Harris, not Charles Harris.
Charles Harris?
No, not Charles Harris. Not Damian Harris.
Is it
Will Harris.
Yeah.
So that's why they keep Will Harris around, is because the versatility. You can play multiple different positions. It pumps their stock up a little bit, and Brad Holmes sees to love that. Who else we got, Nick?
We are going to Jeremy B. in Burton. Jeremy, you're live on air.
What up, though, Jeremy?
Jeremy, how you feeling, man?
What up, guys? Hey, easy. It's Smoking Jeremy B.
Jeremy B, what up, man?
Not much. Just been doing good now that I'm also a writer for the Motor City Tribune. But what I did call out was something that I didn't see the first 2 weeks that we did this week. We started stunting the defensive line, which makes the O-line get confused and they can't take their blocks. It's the first time we did it in all 3 weeks. Now, I want to see that more consistently because we talked about all the versatility on the D-line and in the corners and everything else. Let's see if he can do that for more than 1 week in a row because we haven't seen it yet. Because that's the only knock I have on Glenn is the consistency of the defense hasn't been there. And with a more talented defense, he should be dialing up more exotic blitzes like that.
I agree. And I've talked about it, and obviously this is on a much, much smaller level than what the Lions are dealing with. But when I played football, I was defensive end. My boy Quantez was defensive tackle. We were right next to each other. We had a couple stunts where right before the snap, he'd roll under, and I'd jump over, and then we'd go. And it confuses the offensive linemen. So obviously they're not going to do anything crazy like that. Yeah, they're not going to do that in the NFL because it's a little too crazy. But the stunts, the digs, the switches, the crosses, there's a lot of different things you could do to throw these guys off guard. And we did seek some creativity out of Aaron Glenn for sure.
Smoking Jeremy B, man, where can people follow you on Twitter?
On Twitter, at Smoking Jeremy B. On Facebook, the Motor City Kneecap Biters page. And on YouTube, Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions.
Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Smoking Jeremy, before we let you go, man, who was your MVP of this game?
Brian Branch, 100%, with Hutchinson as a close second. And I want to give an honorable mention to Ifeanyi Famu doing a good job at playing safety. because everybody was writing him off and how he'd be trade bait, and I don't think he is. He's depth we need if somebody goes down, as we saw with Kirby being out.
Yeah, I agree. If he stepped up and he looked like the caliber of player for where he was drafted. Appreciate you calling in, Jeremy.
Appreciate you calling in, Jeremy.
Yep.
And to get to the defense and to AG's credit, I guess we got another caller.
We only got 1 minute. Let's get it when we go back from break.
All right, well then let's do this real quick. 7 sacks. Charles Harris. I'm just shout these guys out.
Yeah.
Charles Harris, Jack Campbell,
Benito
Derek
Jones.
Barnes, Benito Jones, Aleem McNeil.
Hutch.
You love it.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It was awesome.
Where's Cash been at, man? Think he's visiting that somewhere?
Cash had to get somebody to talk to because he was talking that Cash shit last week, and now he's talking nothing because the Lions won. But if you are like Cash and you're disappointed, you can go to SMA or the Sports Marketing Agency. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports and Law and Drink live. Actually, won't be there this Sunday. It's a Thursday night game. But every Sunday for Detroit Lions home games, we'll be there for the official Lions VIP tailgate party at Eastern Market in Shed 5. And it's going to be a bash. Starts at 9:30 until game time. It's the official Detroit Lions tailgate. It's back and better than ever. Free food, free drinks, including the tickets. BullseyeEventGroup.com is how you purchase those. Or you get free ones if you DM Lions VIP to Woodward Sports on Instagram. Buongiorno. Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live at Sports.com. I'm Easy. Spinball Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff on the 1s and 2s.
Let's go.
Finally got your last name down, by the way.
Took a while.
Hit that like button. I put it in the chat, but I didn't announce it on there. I apologize. If we hit 550 likes during this live stream, I will give away a jersey.
A Brian Branch jersey.
I like that. It depends.
You're going to give away.
I'll give away. Are you going in on this?
No.
All right, then. I'll decide the jersey.
All right.
Kobe Sorsdale.
Kobe stepped up.
Kobe did step up. He would. I rewatched Stay on TV. He was getting got a couple times. We would talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But we do have one more call on the line. We got Ryan in a car, the OG. One of the OG listeners for Heavyweights.
Ryan in a car. You are live on air.
What up, Ryan?
What's going on, Ryan?
What's going on, big guys? I love it. Love the show. Hey, like, share, 5 stars on all streams. Let's go, boys.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Sir. How you feel about that game, Ryan?
So, man, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to bother because everybody's pretty much going to say the same thing. Brian Branch is the man. I've been saying it since the draft. Been calling that. But I have an honest question for you about the game. This is the only thing that I was really upset with. And I'm not trying to air out any bad stuff, but why do you think they kept having Gibbs run towards the weak side of our line when we've got all these replacements on this side and we've still got some starters, at least wrong position, but starters on the left? Why do you think they kept going to the right?
I don't know.
When they had so many open.
I can't tell you. Maybe they were running away from somebody on the Falcons, but I was saying the same thing. I don't know why they were running to that side and not to the Jonah Jackson, Penei Sewell side, but you know, maybe they're running away from a different player on the Falcons. I'd have to go back and look at the tape to see exactly what was happening there. But, yeah, I can't tell you on that one. But I was confused.
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, that was the only.
I was in the camp of like sometimes because Spain was talking about too, along with shout out the D-line clothing where was that in front of us, but sometimes you have to do those things to keep the defense honest. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they're always gonna know it's a pitch. Otherwise, every time you mirror the game, they're always gonna know it's a run to the left. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta do certain things to keep the defense honest. I figured that's what I chalked that one up to.
I could track that. I was just curious what you guys were thinking because I'm sitting there looking at the line, looking at the game, and I'm like, the left's pretty wide open, boys.
Yeah.
But hey, like I said, that was the only thing. And other than that, man, these boys are looking stellar again. And that was with, 6, 7 backups in there? And then a couple of injuries with our second strings, third strings are coming in, Colby Solersdale. Look at that, man.
Mm-hmm.
William and Mary all the way, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But, hey, anyways, it was good to talk to you guys. Thanks for letting me call in.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ryan. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, man, we kind of go crazy about the defense. And real quick, too, I want to shout out Thor, a.k.a. Alex Anzalone. He had a great game.
Yes, he
great
did.
bounce-back game, if you will, too, because he's another guy under suspicion last week.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Jerry, both
Derek
those
Barnes,
guys bounced back.
Derek Barnes.
Man, phenomenal.
What a year for this guy. Like we expected a lot out of him because we saw glimpses of it last year.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody expected this. He's the best linebacker on the Lions as of right now. Like he continues to make plays. Malcolm was out there making plays too.
Yeah.
How crazy is it that the Lions linebacking core is one of the strengths of their defense now?
It's wild.
How much shit we were talking about it last year.
And on top of that, too, it's beautiful to see AG utilizing it. I said it last week. It was Stick. You weren't here. But I talked about the Ravens defense that following week. They had a big W. But they're constantly just rotating. I mean, they have 2 elite linebackers and Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. But they were just getting nasty with it, just doing different things. And I was like, why can't we utilize our linebackers like that? We finally got 4 respectable linebackers in the locker room. Why can't we do something like that? Here you go. 3 of those guys with sacks last week.
3 of those guys with sacks. Malcolm was making plays over the field. You see him rotate these guys. You see it as Thor and Barnes, and then Barnes and Campbell, and then Rodrigo and Thor, and different guys in and out of the lineup, and they all have different skill sets. They all can do different things, and it's impressive to watch these guys rotate, man.
But by the way, too, this defense performing after losing Josh Pascal and James Houston, performing on the terms of like getting sacks. And finishing off those pressures with actually putting the quarterback on the ground. And some of that, I will say this, is a tribute to like Desmond Ridder just holding the ball a little bit too long at times. But some of it, too, was just Detroit Lions. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson being Aiden Hutchinson. And you love to see that type of things, too. I want to talk about the offense a little bit, but we do have 2 more callers. Who we got, Nick?
We're going to go to Scott from Lapeer. Scott, you're live on air.
Scotty, what's going on, man?
Not much, fellas. Not much. Great game, right?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful game. So how you feeling about that game? How do you feel about that performance?
A lot better now that I'm able to see Hutch actually get some, reps and actually do something with them.
Yeah, that's for sure. They're getting a Ridder and they're throwing him down.
Oh yeah, for sure. 2 things real quick. 5 stars across the board on all streaming platforms.
Let's go.
And 2, what did you guys think about the Ohio State Notre Dame game? Because I thought Ohio State was looking a little weak there.
Yeah, they were looking a little soft for sure. I mean, they pulled it off, but still, that's what they've been the past couple years. Is Ohio State's been a little soft in the trenches, and Notre Dame tried to expose that, and they did to a certain extent. But we'll see. They're gonna have to change that when they go up against some bigger dogs.
They went away from that true Big Ten identity, where it's just like you're pounding the ball, playing tough defense, and they're playing that more pro style. Remember when Michigan hired Rich Rod? They're going back to Ohio State's doing that phase right now.
Yeah.
Trying to do like, too much fancy stuff.
Speed and space.
But they're also using the strings though too. They have amazing receivers over there, but they pulled that one out. That was clutch. Fuck Ohio State though.
So what was your biggest takeaway from that Lions game, Scott? Before we let you go.
It would probably be that Brian Branch was flying all over the field. You couldn't really stop that guy. whether he was going from left to right, from right to left, or from back to front, he was just everywhere.
That's for sure.
Scott.
Appreciate you calling in, Scott, as always.
Yeah,
man.
have a good one.
You do the same. And he's right. And that seems to be like the consensus of most of our callers that have been called in. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to everybody else that called in. Salty, Ryan, Dom, all those guys. But Brian Branch was him.
Yeah.
He was everywhere. It's the consensus among Lion fans today, and it's beautiful to see. Who else we got, Nick?
We are going to go to Ronan99. Ronan, you're live on air.
We got a Hall of Famer on
Ronan, Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay.
How you feeling, Runyon?
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the shout out. I want to say hi to my guys online, Paul, E-Fog, Tyler, everybody in the chat. Yeah, it was a great weekend. My son and I went to Richmond, Virginia to be inducted into the National Black Tennis Hall of Fame. People may not realize it, but the ATA, or American Tennis Association, has been around since 1916. So there's a long, long history of African American participation in the sport of tennis. But it's nice to share that same space with Arthur Ashe and Althea Gibson. And hey, I got there before the Williams sisters did, so that's pretty cool.
That is
so thanks for the shout out, guys.
Of course.
No problem,
Congratulations, bro. It's an awesome accomplishment.
Thank you. Well, the players made it happen. I mean, you know, if you're involved in high school sports, and I keep saying we need to have a high school sports on this station, or a show on this station, and maybe we can talk later and see how we can make that happen. But here's the thing.
Go ahead. You should talk about the Lions.
Yes. Back to you, because let's talk about the Lions. I find it interesting that we got a bunch of people who practiced today who were held out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be all hands on deck for Green Bay. And the interesting thing to me is that team showed me nothing for 3 quarters until that quarterback got hurt. When Carr went out of the game, that whole game changed. And I don't see the Green Bay's offensive output being consistent from game to game to game. I think that team is in trouble. I think we're going to expose them. I think we're going to catch that quarterback running around like a little maniac like we did Ritter. We're going to knock him on his butt. So thanks, guys. Good show. Go us.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you, Ronan, again, and congratulations on that accomplishment. And I mean, I agree with him to a point to where, like, we'll see what the Packers injury report looks like as well, because, you know, they were missing Aaron Jones. They were missing Christian McCaffrey. They were missing other guys, or Christian Watson. They were missing other guys who they probably did the same thing, like how Kirby and Taylor Decker and David Montgomery, I'm assuming, are going to play against the Packers, didn't play against the Falcons. So we'll see. But I agree with him. I'm not scared of the Packers. I'm really not. And if we can get the same kind of pressure, or even close to the same kind of pressure we're getting on Desmond Ritter, we're going to make Jordan Love's life hell. And that's going to be a recipe to success for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious, and we got to go to break here soon too, but who do you think that didn't play for the Lions yesterday is going to play this Thursday?
I think it's going to be Kirby, Decker, and Montgomery.
You think all 3 of them come back?
Yes, I think all 3 of them come back.
I'm kind of nervous about... Well, obviously I don't think Emmanuel Moses, I don't think he'll be back.
He practiced today.
He practiced today?
That's what people were saying, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, we have to pull that up. That's crazy. That's I like Cam Sutton a lot. You know, I like Cam Sutton. People telling me. And Emmanuel Moses is supposed to be, you know, CB number 1 on this team. That was good news. I was glad to hear that. I'm kind of nervous about, I guess Decker would be the one I'm nervous about. I'm actually super nervous about it. I'm thinking about, too, you had Dan Skipper. He told us after the game, pulled a hammy.
Yeah.
And then you had the situation, too, with what happened with Nelson? What was the official injury for him? Anybody?
I'm not sure. I didn't see. Obviously, we were watching it on this, so we didn't get as much of the commentary. But it didn't look good.
I thought it was Laporta that went down on that Nelson one. I was scared shitless. I was super. I mean, you never want to see an injury for a Lions player or any player, but thank God it was not Laporta.
Nah, thank God it was not Laporta. We're talking about Laporta when we come back here too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Laporta when we come back for sure. But the depth is getting whittled down for sure. Honestly, the one that I'm the most worried about out of the 3 of them is Kirby. Because the hip is not something that's easily recovering. Like, is recoverable a word? I don't even know. But it's not something you can easily recover from. There's not a lot of different things you can do to make a hip feel better. But I'd be very comfortable with very confident with us getting a dub in Lambeau if Montgomery and Decker both come back.
Yeah, if we have Decker back, if we have Decker and Demont, way more comfortable in this Green Bay game.
And Zonovan Knight looked pretty good.
Zonovan Knight looked really good.
Zonovan Knight was making plays. He like you said, he's a tough guy. They call him Bam for a reason. Like he was out there running between the tackles. He was getting some good yardage. So we'll see what they do with that running back position if David Montgomery is activated. But I'm hoping so, because as good as Gibbs looked, as good as Zonovan Knight looked, even Craig Reynolds had some nice carries. But David Montgomery is what the Lions want to do. Like, he looked so good against the Seahawks, and I need to see him in the fold at Lambeau. It's something that would make me very confident in the Lions' chances of coming out of there with a win.
Shut that King horse. He says Mosley limited in action during practice, and then Nelson needs surgery, according to MCDC. So it's not a good sign for him.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Nelson. You know, he filled in. He did an admirable job, and hopefully it's nothing too serious, and it'll be an easy recovery for him.
Yes, sir. You tell us about Planet Fitness? Sorry, I thought you were going back to... I'm sorry.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. You can get a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card for $24.99 and get use of all the amenities. Planet Fitness. Join in club or online. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous celebrities like Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards, and Tim McCollum play golf with the average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information soon. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I'm your boy, Easy Joe, my guy, Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nick filling in for JB Smooth on the 1 to 2. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I will change the like goal to 400. If we can hit 200 likes in the next 5 minutes. Currently at 183. Make sure you guys smash the like button. 5-star reviews. I'll change to 400 likes for a jersey giveaway. I hate doing that. But y'all like it. Y'all like it.
Fair.
Probably should change. I probably should have kept it.
No, you probably should have. But it's all right. You already put it out there.
We talked a lot about the defense today. At some point, we're talking a little bit too about Cam Sutton. But I want to talk about the offense just briefly, Smitty. Sam Laporta. Doing things we ain't never seen before.
Yeah, put this graphic up there, Chris. I saw this. I forget who it was from. I think it was like NFL History something like that.
It was Rookie Watch.
NFL Rookie Watch. Sam Laporta's off to a historic start to his rookie season with the Lions. He currently has the most receiving yards of any tight end in the league, the second most receptions of any tight end in the league, recorded the fastest speed by any Lions player in yesterday's game at 18.5 miles per hour, and is on pace to shatter the rookie tight end receptions record with 102 receptions, as well as finish second all-time in receiving yards for a rookie tight end with 1,054. This guy Laporta has been money. He's had over 5 receptions in every game so far. It's extremely impressive to watch, and I was hype on him. I said he was going to be a difference maker. Easy was trying to pump the brakes a little bit because normally rookie tight ends don't start off like this. Normally there is a learning curve at tight end, especially in a complex offense for tight ends like the one Ben Johnson presents. But Laporta is different. Samuel Laporta, huh? We got a paisan over here. This guy is out there going crazy, man. I love it. I love to see it. He seems like the nicest dude, too. Like, I've never talked to him in person, but he just seems so happy, nice guy, so nice, such a nice guy. And you love to see it. And his touchdown, he was wide the fuck open, dude.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ben Johnson for that play design, and shout out to him for running it to perfection, because there was nobody within 10 yards of the guy. And he just continues to impress. We saw it in training camp. We heard it in training camp that Sam Laporta is Jared Goff's second favorite target on this team behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that has come to fruition in this season so far. He's out there making plays. He is everything that he was advertised as coming out of the draft. Exactly what Lions beat writers, Brad Holmes himself, and draft experts said about this guy. He's big. He's athletic. He makes people miss. And when he has the ball in his hands, he is different with yards after the catch. It's impressive to watch. I love to see it. And he has become a focal point of this offense only 3 games into his NFL career.
Listen, it's one thing to, like, if a rookie has, like, numbers or leading the league in something after, like, 1 or 2 games, to be doing it, like, after 3 games now, to have over 5 receptions each game, that's different. This kid is quite clearly Jared Goff's second favorite target on the field. He's also a playmaker. I mean, 18 miles per hour is insane. I don't want to hog up all the time because I know you have James from Florida who called in to talk about Sam Laporta specifically. But I want to touch on James, pause, and then we'll continue to talk about Sam Laporta.
Hey, yo. Yeah, let's get James on the phone here.
All right, we got James from Florida.
Shout out, James. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, guys. Thanks a lot for taking my call. First-time caller on you guys. I love your show,
go, baby.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you calling in.
I'd like to hear it too, Spenny.
Thank you, sir. Shout out, Rachel.
Hey, man, what a solid game. I didn't get to watch the game. I was at work, but I was listening to it on my phone, and I was just really impressed with the defensive effort, and just visualizing what they were doing was incredible. That being said, I would like to see a little bit more on offense. I think everybody would. 20 points isn't great, but it was good enough for this game.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, I love this Laporta kid. He is my new favorite Lion. And I knew he was going to be good the day that we got him. We just had to take some time with him. But with that being said, do you think they're going to start involving the backup tight ends more into the passing game just to give him a little free up?
I mean, we'll see. It's hard to not keep looking at him with the success he's having so far and the kind of connection he's got with Jared Goff already. We might see, Brock Wright get a couple balls. James Mitchell might get a ball here and there, but I think they're focused on Laporta and feeding him because that's what they brought him in to do.
Yeah, I think
that's cool.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more Laporta. I think we might see some of those things you saw last year when James Mitchell get a touchdown here and there just because, like, people forgot he even existed on this team. You might get a couple of those, but this is the Sammy Laporta show, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it mistaken. He is here, and he's the real deal.
He's here, and he's now, so let's take advantage of it.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
before we let you go,
guys.
man, who was your MVP of this game?
Yeah. You know what? I think Sam was. As good as Branch was, I love Sam Laporta, man. He was just everywhere. And Aiden also was badass.
Hell yeah, James. Appreciate you calling in, brother. Also, James, brother, no hair compliments over here? What was come on now.
And you don't need any compliments, dude. You're good enough already.
I appreciate James.
Appreciate you, James. And, like, another part of Laporta's game that was kind of slept on in the recruiting process or the analysis process when he was in the draft. His blocking has been excellent.
Yeah, his blocking
has been fantastic. He threw a couple blocks yesterday that sprung some big runs from this offense that he decleated people. Like, it was impressive to watch. You heard when they were talking about drafting him about his ability to catch the ball, his ability to run after the catch, his athleticism, different things like that. But his blocking has been a good focal point, and that's how you get time on this team. Ben Johnson, no block, no rock. Especially for the tight ends, the way they like to do that 12 personnel, the way they like to move guys around, use different wham blocks with the tight ends. You need to be able to throw your body around in the run game, and Sam Laporta has done that and more.
Yeah, I think another thing to be appreciative of Sam Laporta is, like, not only is he a rookie doing this, and in a league where generally rookies don't put up these type of numbers just in general, is this an extra complicated scheme for tight ends, especially for tight ends and offensive linemen. They're constantly asked to come out and make extra blocks. You have them out there line as a wide receiver, and you have him come back in as a tight end. I mean, he's doing everything. I mean, to hit the 18 miles per hour, we knew he had some speed, but damn,
18 and a half.
He's a playmaker, bro. He's a playmaker, and like, again, he's here.
Yes,
he's not just a playmaker. He's arrived.
I'm here.
He's a piece in this offense. It was Jared Goff's second favorite target.
Yep.
He's the one, in my honest opinion, is the one who got the offense going yesterday. It was kind of a little stagnant.
Sammy Laporta.
I mean, he's the real deal.
Yeah,
I know you got some on that, Nick.
11 targets, 8 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown.
11 targets is crazy.
11 targets is crazy.
Like if you're a fantasy guy, like you're drooling over that type of stuff.
84 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, his touchdown was the 45-yard pass from Jared Goff. That a beautiful ball put it right on him, and a beautiful scheme on that play drawn up by Ben Johnson.
I wonder if the blocking is like a thing. You obviously got another former tight end teaching your tight ends now too. I forget his name. Excuse me for that one. But you also have Dan Campbell, Tanner Strand, and then Dan Campbell, former tight end too. I wonder if that's helping the blocker. Is this a complete miss by?
Might just be a complete miss. Like he's better than Michael Mayer. He's better than Dalton Kincaid. Like this guy is going to be the best tight end out of this draft. And I don't think that's a stretch.
Tiger Town better than hot question mark? I think he's going to be better.
I think he will be too.
I mean, you're talking about he's already second.
Got better numbers than him right now. Through 3 games. But let me tell you guys about Woodward and Maine before we get too much further into it. It's the Lions Insider Show here at Woodward Sports, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster. All the best information and insight on the Detroit Lions, Tuesdays 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and Sundays 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Make sure you guys check out Woodward and Maine on the Woodward Sports Network. But yeah, I don't think it's going out on a limb to say that Sam Laporta can be better than Hawk when he keeps going. Like the guy is putting up numbers that we haven't seen. He's on pace to put up numbers that we've never seen a rookie tight end do in this league. He's on pace to put up better numbers than TJ Hawkinson did in a single season in Detroit in his first year in the NFL.
Yeah.
So will he keep it going? I don't know, but it looks there's no signs of slowing down in the first 3 games. If anything, he's just getting better. So we'll see what happens, but man, he looks like the real deal. Chris, you had something to say?
Yeah, to go off of that point, I don't remember what the lines were when we were making lines. Wasn't it like around 500-600 yards for him for the season?
Yeah, 500 yards.
The fact that he's already on pace to maybe even double that is insane. But how much of this do you think will change? And again, not in a bad way, but just like you said, with J-Mo coming back, I imagine that's going to take. That's going to change the offense and change the usage and distribution a little bit. Like, how much of that do you think is going to affect him, or do you think that
I don't think it's gonna make his usage or anything go down. I think it'll make it better. I think
a lot more efficient.
It'll free up the middle of the field much more. You're not gonna have these guys worried about the middle of the field because they're gonna be so worried about the deep threat of Jameson Williams. And a guy like J-Mo, it's not like he's gonna be seeing 11 targets a game like Sam Laporta is. He's gonna be seeing 5, 6, 7 targets on deep shots and screens, while what Jared Goff does best and what he likes to do best is those comfortable routes over the middle in the middle part of the field. And I don't think that's going to change at all with J-Mo coming back. If anything, it's going to free it up for more.
It's going to free it up. I'm talking about you got to have an extra safety, helping cornerbacks out once J-Mo's back on the field. Safeties are known to cover tight ends, and you have them on a favorable matchup when it comes to the linebacker position.
Yeah. You put him on a linebacker, he'll run past him. You put him on a safety, he'll jump over him. Like, this guy is a mismatch nightmare, and that's what an athletic pass-catching tight end does for an offense. You can't guard him. Like, the only guy in the NFL in the past, 10 years that I've been like, oh, he locks down tight ends was Eric Berry. Eric Berry was known as the Gronk stopper. Like, that's because he was a 6'3", uber-athletic safety that would make plays. So we'll see going forward, but looks like he's gonna continue his reign of terror, and I'm happy for it, man. I'm happy for Laporta.
What are you going to say, Chris?
I was just going to say, shout out to Wildfire in the chat. Laporta will steal Taylor Swift. I was wondering,
he's on pace.
He is on pace.
He's on pace.
Did Taylor Swift pick the wrong tight end?
Yeah.
She don't have one herself, so she can't be too picky. But
I mean, I don't know. I know JB's not here today. I mean, and
right after the news
broke, she's got mad cheddar. She can have whoever she wants.
That's fair. She could buy one if she wanted.
Yeah, with that being said,
buy it back.
Yeah.
With that being said, with Kelsey in the AFC, I think Laporta has a great shot to make a Pro Bowl and even, come into the NFC. I think he could fight for All-Pro if he keeps developing at this rate already.
Yeah.
And you pair that with Brian Branch, 2 second-rounders, Pro Bowls their rookie season, maybe even All-Pro.
If you put up if he puts up those numbers that we had and that we said, he's making a Pro Bowl for sure. He would have the most receptions by a tight end in tight end history, and would have the second most yards by a tight end in NFL history. And he's on pace for 6 touchdowns now. So I'm extremely impressed by it. I'd love to see him continue this, and I think he's going to.
Yeah, Mike Ditka holds the record right now, 1,076 yards, and that was in 1961. Sam Laporta is going to beat that.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Mike Ditka was an animal.
He is that for man. Can you tell us about Guardian Alarm?
I can. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security is their technology. It's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with the best dispensary around. That's Dispo. With over 12 locations, including the new location in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. Dispo Romeo is open now, too, until midnight every single day except Sunday. It's the only cannabis mall of its kind in the entire state of Michigan. Dispo Dispensary, DISPOshops.com, your local cannabis plug. Buongiorno.
God damn. Real there, G.
What?
This shit itches, man.
Oh, yeah. You're in for a rude awakening.
I got crabs.
You got crabs. It's funny because you're itching underneath the table.
My tattoo is itching, man.
My tattoo.
I like took a shower without the wrap on for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Because you said for like a couple days. Or just wait like a couple days and you should be good.
Hit the like button, guys. Haven't already, 5-star review on all podcast platforms. We hit 450 likes during the live stream. There will be a jersey giveaway, courtesy of Spinwell Rex Bank account.
Nope, not true.
Shout out to Dr. D in the UAW National Negotiators Team program. Those tickets that was
shout out to them. Shout out to Ronnie Cyrus for giving us those on-field passes so we could chill in the tunnel while the guys were running out. That was super dope.
We got Chris in the TD booth. Nick joining us on the 1s and 2s. Phone lines are open. Shout out to Nick for that too. Going back to defense a little bit. I just want to because it's quiet. You don't hear his name often. And just as many said, it's because he's doing a damn good job.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Sutton, quietly
how
yesterday,
sweet it is.
0 targets, which means 0 receptions for 0 yards. Not a single touchdown allowed out of him all season. You haven't heard too much from him all season. It's because he's doing a damn good job.
Yeah.
How sweet it is to have something like that. And I know we experienced the Seattle situation last week, and it did hurt. But Cam Sutton's been phenomenal.
Yes, he has.
He's been great. And if Emmanuel Moses coming back too, can I expect the same thing? I mean, holy shit, man.
I think you can. I really think you can.
Holy shit.
Emmanuel Mosley is a guy that you look at, it could be the best corner on this team with how long he is, how rangy he is. He was the best corner on the best defense in football last year until he got hurt. Like, the guy was a man amongst boys. So I think you can expect the same thing from him. But going back to guys that are here and guys that have played, Cam Sutton, the guy is like, we talked about it. Why can't I remember his name from the Steelers, the defensive lineman?
Hayward,
yeah, Cam Hayward said he is the smartest player on the field at all times. And that's what the guy is. He always knows his assignment. He is never out of position. He never blows up a play, blows a coverage, nothing like that. He always does the things right. He plays defense the right way. He plays cornerback the right way, never missing assignments, always out there making plays. And super cool dude, super humble dude. We saw him when he was one of the last guys to walk up the tunnel. And again, I'm sure a lot of these guys have seen or heard us because we have such a great presence amongst Detroit sports as Woodward Sports. Like, we've never talked to him personally or anything, or we've seen him personally, and he dapped both of us up, and we were like, good game, Cam, go crazy. And he's wearing the ski mask himself, the white ski. It was extremely impressive what he did out there. It's extremely impressive what he's done so far this year, and I'm so happy the Lions inked this guy, a true leader, a natural leader, humble guy, and a great player on the field.
Only 7 receptions made on the entire year. Only 3 games, but still, that's pretty stellar. On a secondary that hasn't really been respected. And a secondary that played with 2 playoff quarterbacks. So Desmond Ridder wasn't the case. Obviously, he was one to walk away to 0 catches made on Cam Sutton. But I just want to acknowledge it because it's not being talked about enough. And it's, again, because he's doing his job. You don't even think to bring it up. Cam Sutton is him. And by the way, on Drake London a couple times too yesterday. Nick, you were there. I mean, this is also by surprise for me too. I didn't expect this out of Cam Sutton. I'll take it. I'll take it all day.
Yeah, it's nice to have a lockdown guy finally. Since Slay, since the horrible trade that was, it's really nice to finally have that guy, and I'm super excited to get Mosley back as well. This defense can really take it up to another level, and I think they will once they get these guys back healthy.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I said, that's just another guy out there that. And this is a guy, like, we saw, what DK, not to dig old injuries up, but we saw what DK Metcalf did to us 2 weeks ago. That's what Mosley is going to bring. That is what Mosley will bring to this team, is a guy that you can put on somebody like that. A guy you can put on a 6'4", 250-pound receiver and have him follow around the field. Because he is a press man corner. He is big. He's rangy, great ball skills, and can run with anybody in the league. So I'm extremely excited to have Mosley back. Hopefully it is for this game. So if Christian Watson's out there, you can put Mosley up on him and say, hey, you strap this man like a bad habit. You fall around the field. I want it. I'm excited.
Speaking of that Green Bay matchup a little bit, how you feeling? Confident?
Confident? Yeah, I'm confident as of right now. Again, like I said, I'll be a lot more confident if I see Decker and Montgomery off of that injury report for sure. But as of right now, even without them, I feel confident going into Lambeau.
Yeah, I feel confident too. I'm expecting a good game though too. I'm not being dismissive of the Packers at all. You guys know me. I've been that the entire.
They got a great defense. They got good skill players.
Yeah.
So
the offense quietly been like kind of good. Like Jordan Love's been putting up numbers like week in, week out.
Jordan Love had a good game against the Saints. I mean, it started off pretty bad, but he came back in the second half. He was making some nice plays. So
he made a clutch ass throw to Romeo Doubs to seal the deal, and in the clutch ass throw before that to get the 2-point conversion. Nick, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, were you guys surprised to see that we were favored? Going into it, I saw it at -1.5 earlier. We were favored on the road
in Lambeau,
in the frozen tundra.
Remember back in the day where they had it won there since before we were born? It was like, that's crazy.
Now we're expected to win.
Yeah.
Now we're expected to win going in, even with all these guys injured. I mean, I expect us to win too. Like I said, I expected us to win against the Chiefs. Yeah. Everybody's calling me crazy. Guess what? They went out there and beat the Chiefs. I expect them to go on the road in Lambeau and win this game. This is a game that the Lions are going to want to play Lions football in. It is an NFC North game in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. It's going to be smash mouth football. That's why I really want Taylor Decker and David Montgomery back, because those two guys, I think, would give us – if both of those guys aren't on the injured reserve, I would see Lions -3.5. Or the injured list, I'm sorry. I could see Lions -3.5 going into this game.
And I felt this way officially after the Chiefs win, but it's really to the point with the Detroit Lions where, I expect to have beat almost every team. I know that we can beat every team. I expect maybe different. I know we can beat every team.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I was going to say
the Dolphins would be that'd be different. They're on schedule, but thank God they're not.
I think if Tua stays healthy, the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, Mike Daniels is probably the best coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah, he's the best play designer by far.
Yeah.
And like I said, Tyreek Hill MVP, man.
I do, Nick, you say something again?
Yeah, I just like the fact that this Packer game, I will be taking moneyline Lions for sure early enough for if Decker comes back, it'll definitely fluctuate the money line on it. So
Yeah, and obviously we're going to break down that game a little bit more in detail as like the rest of the week goes on. We're kind of just relishing, soaking in this win for the Detroit Lions yesterday because it was an absolute mud hole stomping. I know they only scored 20 points offensively, but when you don't allow a single touchdown to a professional organization full of millionaire players and top 10 picks like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson, it's fucking great. You cash in one of those, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I think we needed it for our sanity, too.
Yes.
As Lions fans, we could not drop 2 home straight. That would not have gone well. It gives me the confidence to go into Lambeau and get the job done on Thursday.
I'm with you, too. Like, we needed I didn't just need to win, but in that fashion, like that's how you're supposed to be a team you're better than. And excuse me, I know we had a couple injuries, and I know the Atlanta Falcons were 2-0. We're better than the Atlanta Falcons. And that's how you're supposed to treat a team that you're absolutely better than. Maybe I'll say this for next one. No, fuck, I'll do it now.
But before you get to that, let me tell you guys about the Lions pregame show, where you can check it out. It's going to be on Thursday today. It's going to be live from here. Check it out. Jeff Iafrate, the man, the myth, the legend, the franchise, the entire network resides on his shoulders. It is Jeff Iafrate hosting the Lions pregame show. Make sure you guys check it out. Normally, it's on Sundays from 9:30 to 11:30. But today, or this week, it's going to be before the Lions Thursday night football game in Lambeau. So make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah, Neil had some spice for Neil had some spice for Jeff on the show.
Man, they got a beef going.
Yeah, no, he documented that he had to sit in the easy seat. He didn't have his normal seat. Jeff,
he got punked.
Jeff made the power move. Yeah, and he was just like, hey, that's what you do when you're dealing with the franchise. Like he was.
It's true.
He was letting it be known all pregame.
What? But yeah, Neil was definitely cutting into my guy Jeff. Jeff, you come on, brother. Come on. You saw
what he did though, that was Drake level. That was Drake.
That
level
shit was so funny, dude.
The picture,
the picture of his girl's dad. Yeah. That shit was so funny.
He said he didn't say it on air, but he wanted to just dap up Jeff and whisper in his ear that her dad said it should have been him.
He said that. He said that on air.
No. Dude, Neil's
that'd have been hard though.
Neil's good
crazy.
at that shit, man.
Neil's ultimate troll.
Neil is an ultimate troll for sure.
I cannot take that away from
That shit is so funny,
Neil.
Dude. Neil makes me laugh so hard all the time.
Yeah. The situation too. I guess like if I'm nervous about anything going to Lambeau, it's everything we said with Decker and Montgomery, the health of the offense. Because not only are you're down to Kobe Sorsdale, and God bless Kobe Sorsdale. I think he did okay. We watching the game a little bit, but like he was getting got by Bud Dupree, and the Green Bay Packers have. It feels like a platoon of pass rushers there. They got Devontae Wyatt. They got Quay Walker, who could run down there as a blitz. They got freaking Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith.
They got a good defense, man. They got players everywhere. Obviously, we know about their secondary, and you just mentioned some of the guys they have in their front seven. So it's not going to be an easy task by any means. It's not easy to go on the road in the NFL and win in any sense of the term. But, I mean, I still expect it.
Rate my drip.
Rate my drip.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat, 1 through 10, rate the drip.
It's why I got 100 and climbing, my boy.
So if Lucas loses, he's got to come in and do the show.
All right, I'm
in
cool
the
with
match
that.
chair in the wiener suit.
Lucas, if you're listening,
you hear that, Lucas?
You heard the punishment.
I don't know what it's looking like, what the pick'em's looking like, but I'm thinking I'm looking pretty good.
I think your lock died.
No, my lock is the Rams.
Your lock was the Rams?
Yeah,
they're dead. I'm just kidding.
My lock's the Rams.
My lock was New England. What?
I was just saying, look at the chat.
Oh,
you got a super chat.
Shout out Jeff Brewster.
Jeff.
Shout out Jeff Brewster, the man that made the legend.
Did we hand him out a bet? No.
Coming in here going crazy. Shout out to Jeff Brewster for throwing the 50 ball in the chat.
Shout out Jeff.
Shout out Jeff.
Jeff is back.
Yeah, Jeff.
Moneybag Jeff. Call in, Jeff. Let's hear it.
Jeff said $500.
He must be rocking with the drip, dog.
Yeah, the drip is gas. Jeff approves of the drip.
Yeah, Jeff showed out for Woodward Nights a couple weeks ago, or last week.
Nights.
Yeah.
Shout out Jeff.
Yeah, shout out Jeff.
We are going to be right back. We got to take a quick break. Easy, tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White, because when you're buying or selling real estate, Mark White's the place to go. They got the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White & Associates. It's where you can cancel your listing agreement for any reason at any time with no penalty whatsoever. Give my guy Mark White a call at 248-290-8242. That's 248-290-8242, or visit him at markwhitesells.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. on the misses. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Zone Fieldhouse that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
Shout out Jeff again for another 50 ball in the chat. Victory Monday, baby. Let's go. Jeff Brewster going hard. I love it. I love it. Man. See what happens when the Lions win? This is what happens when the Lions win. The city of Detroit wins. Woodward Sports win. You all win. It's beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
I wonder if Jeff hit on some money again.
Probably.
The last time he came through, if you guys aren't aware, Jeff Brewster's an absolute legend. Sprinkled $500. It was last week, I think.
Yeah.
$500 last week. Here he is with 100 already today. Jeff, I'm just saying, those heavyweight shirts are for sale. I'm just letting you know. But welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WoodsportsSports.com. Hit that like button if you haven't already. 5-star review on our podcast platforms. Spin more racks. If Jeff is listening. We got Chris Blatty on the 1s and 2s. Actually,
Blast.
Nick's on the 1s and 2s. You're in the TD booth. Chris Blatty survived a car accident Friday.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, no, Venmo Chris. If you're gonna Venmo somebody, Venmo Chris.
Yeah, Chris actually needs a new whip. Actually, yeah,
man,
that's the guy.
Man
to take
got
it.
T-boned on Friday. That's why he couldn't make the show.
Shout out to Easy too. Easy's so funny for that. I was just like getting ready to leave the scene, and this guy Easy calls me to make sure I'm good. It's like 15 minutes till the show, and he's like, yo, you good? And I'm like, yeah, man. I feel bad that I left you guys hanging like such short notice. And you're like, nah, man, you're good. The show starts in 15 minutes. You could get.
Yeah, we were saying R.I.P. Chris lost the real one.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was messed up.
He's good. He made it. Everyone was all right in the accident. And so I'm glad everybody's okay, but yeah, it sucks. Dispo's taking 2 cars away from this show alone.
You guys have a little bit too much fun every time you're there.
Yeah, I mean, I got rear-ended, bro. I was sitting at a red light, and I got smashed by a lady doing 50, and then she blew twice over the legal limit. Walked up to me with a bottle of Jameson in her hand.
DNC ENT. I got Timu for my heavyweight merch. Sorry, I need the deals. Shout out to DNC ENT. I want to ask this because this was a big conversation last week heading into the Atlanta Falcons game, and I kind of somewhat feel like we have yet to been answered this. Do you guys feel that Jahmyr Gibbs was utilized? You guys get what you wanted out of him in that past game? Nick, I'll start with you.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 18 touches. That should be the minimum every game. He should get at least 18 touches. I would have liked to see him break one, but I guess it was better than what we've seen before. But I'm still not crazy impressed yet.
I still want to see him utilized in the passing game more.
I do too.
He only had 2 targets. He had 1 catch for I think like 5 yards or something like
2
that.
yards.
2 yards, but I want to see him get more involved in the pass game. Obviously, they had to pivot a little bit from their game plan with David Montgomery being out, so I'm sure that's why he wasn't utilized in the passing game as much. But if David Montgomery's back, or even with what we saw out of Zonovan Knight, you can feel comfortable giving him the ball and knowing that Jahmyr Gibbs will be able to get the ball out of the backfield or lined up in the slot. I still want to see some plays where he's lined up in the slot or lined up out wide and comes in on some motion. And they do like a Tyreek Hill where he gets a running start and then they throw him a wheel route or they throw it to him in the flat and let him make some moves in space with a full head of steam. But I was happy with how they used him in this game because of the situation, no Montgomery. So he was running the ball and he looked good doing it. So I can't complain about this position.
I don't know if you look good doing this, but you and I made a couple faces to each other throughout the course of that game. Is every time Jameer,
I mean, he's not going to get a 10-yard carry every carry,
Well,
but having 80
asking
yards on 17 attempts is a pretty good game.
But he was getting crushed every time he was going between the tackles.
He made a couple
He was
nice
getting
plays.
stuffed.
Not every time. Like I said, he's not going to break every single run.
I'm not.
He had a couple
I'm
where
not
he's
talking
getting
about
5-6
breaking
yard
for every
carries.
single run. I'm talking about just getting more than a yard on these carries.
I want to see a breakdown of his carries.
And I get that he was, again, he's a little bit more utilized as a weapon, or that's what the sell was on him when they took him at number 12 overall. Then use him as that weapon. Like you were saying, like let's see him in the slot a little bit. Let's see him on some motion routes. I mean, like that's where I'm kind of lost. And I'm not tripping that much because it takes some time to get going. We looked at numbers of Christian McCaffrey, we looked at numbers of Alvin Kamara, Jamal Charles, guys that are like similar comps to him, and it took some time to get him going. I'll have to refresh and check the number on game 3 for those guys. But the difference between Jameer and those guys, Jameer was a first round pick. Jameer was a top 15 pick. 80 yards, still happy, and he did have a couple of little scampers you got to go away. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's first round pick too. You're right. But we got a couple of scampers out of there. But I don't know that he's like his strength would be as like a running between the tackles. I know his strength is going to be running between the tackles. But Dan Campbell did speak after the game, and he said that those 2 little scrambles he got towards the end of the game, sometimes you just need to see it. Sometimes you need to go through it and get them going, and collectively it'll just roll on from there. And maybe that's what it is. That again, that happened in the fourth quarter. So I mean, maybe that's what who he's going to be, identity-wise. And then we were down a couple of offensive linemen, as I think it was James who called him from Florida. I mentioned like why they run to the right side of the ball if we don't have anybody there worth the damn blocking. But still was a little bit nervous.
I was a little bit nervous at first, and he definitely got stoned a couple times, but they kept at it, and he ended up having a good game. So I'm not too worried about it. Again, when David Montgomery is back, that dude almost just ate shit into that pole right there. That would have been so funny, but he like stopped and moved to the side. But once they get David Montgomery back, he's still not going to be used in that way. And I mean, like you said, they will, to keep the defense honest. Like when they rotate him in, they'll give him some runs up the middle. But I want to see him more in outside zones, in some pitches, in some jet sweeps, getting the ball out of the backfield, receiving wise. So I'm not too mad that he's not, averaging 7 yards a carry up the middle, because he's not a powerful bruising back.
Yeah, he's not. Shout out to Jeff Brewster too, just making it rain. And I know he's like a powerful bruising back, but a lot of names we mentioned, you do see them able to do that. And again, the hype on him was he's Jeff Brewster's cousin, so he's a great guy.
Yeah.
No, but the hype on him was the weapon stuff, and that's just what we haven't been seeing. And then it's just, I don't know if I'm growing concerned, because I do have faith in Ben Johnson as a brilliant human being.
Our first division game is this week, so maybe they didn't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't want to tip their hand against, going into the game in Lambeau against the Packers. Fair. You definitely keep some extra things in the pocket when you're playing a division game, especially on the road in Green Bay. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 5 targets at least against the Packers.
Nick, you had something on that one?
Yeah, I feel like Ben Johnson definitely has something up his sleeve. Jeff. Shout out Jeff for the 50 again.
Really, really
Damn,
spinny.
Jeff, you're the man. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson has something up his sleeve that we will see in some of these harder games, especially on the road. I think he'll break it out.
Yeah.
For Gibbs.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. And I know it's coming at some point. I guess I just expected to see it sooner, It's not that he's not lining up outside. Actually, this game, I didn't really see him do much of that at all. A lot of it was he was just straight there in the backfield. But Zonovan Knight, fucking A, man. I was excited when we signed him for a reason. He looked the part.
He looked good. That's what they call. Like I said, they call him Bam for a reason. Like, he's gonna put his head down and he's gonna get those extra couple yards. So I'm excited. If David Montgomery can't go, which I hope isn't the case against Green Bay, you got a guy in Zonovan Knight and a guy in Craig Reynolds that you can run effectively between the tackles. And nobody says, "Let's go Lions." The lineup 5-7, 8-10 is elite. 5-7, 8-10.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
But I don't even have the chat in front of me to even look at it. Was talking about the defensive scheme or something?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Shout out nobody.
Shout out nobody. And shout out Jeff Brewster.
Who?
Yeah.
Jeff Brewster.
Jeff Brewster.
Yeah. I'm
the
gonna
real
give me
one.
a triple crown when
Donate bread.
Donation.
And shout out Beth.
All right, let's visit the Nicky Sportsbook then. Over under for receptions, Jahmyr Gibbs against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, I'm setting the number right here?
Yeah.
Oh, 4.5.
4.5. Spinny going under or over?
I might go under on that one.
4.5.
I'll have to wait to see if Dave Montgomery's back. I thought if he would have said 3.5, I would have taken the over, but 4.5 is a little much.
Man in the hot dog suit.
Yeah, I'm going over. You know where I'm at. Over. Easy money.
You know what's crazy? You know, I don't think it was mentioned, and I only take note of it because we saw him in the tunnel heading back to the locker room. But Josh Reynolds seemed like pissed off yesterday. I don't know if it's a combination of him being a little bit banged up or also just not getting that many targets. But he looked pretty pissed off in the locker room. I assumed, especially in this last game, with him banged up, the whole situation, I thought we'd see a lot more like just passing plays out of him. But 4.5, steep.
I'm taking the over.
Taking the over?
Yeah, well, you were thinking on it. Yeah, I would take the over because I think they are going to get him involved a lot more. And we kind of saw it in that Chiefs game, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit. On the road, we're going to need him to be the elite number 12 overall pick that we drafted him to be.
Yes.
Nobody was talking about our shows, the show lineups.
So
5 to 7 show and the 8 to 10
Woodward
show.
Nights.
Shout out to nobody.
Yeah, shout out
Makes
to
a lot
nobody.
more sense now.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go over. Just I have a weird feeling something. Did Josh Reynolds practice today? Was that in there? Do we have like an official
I'm not
injury
sure.
report?
I'm not sure.
I wonder what he had going on because he looked pretty upset after that game. I don't know why.
I don't know either, but we got to go to break real fast. So Chris, tell us about Glorious.
Yes, sir. I gotta tell you about Glorious, the place to go for a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of a first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these yet, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Use the code Woodward Glorious. It's gloriouscanna.com.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
What's up, though? Welcome back to our live at WoodSports.com.
I'll do it for you, Cal.
Chris, how you feeling in the suit? You had the hoodie on before. I said no, you took it off.
Yeah, you know, I had to
ask me about your winner.
Drink though, 1 to 10, you know, something light. Just woke up feeling like
Something light, you know what I'm saying?
Feel like money, you know what it is.
Hit a like button for Chris surviving a car accident this past Friday.
Yep.
Hit up his Venmo. Slim Morex.
Man beat the allegations.
What is your Venmo?
Spend Morex.
No, Chris's.
Yeah, his is Spend Morex.
Mine is Crispy 1132. It's an old Venmo.
Crispy 1132.
Yes, sir.
Crispy Bacon.
What's up with the 1132?
Those were my two basketball numbers.
1738.
Rip Hamilton and Isaiah Thomas.
Huh. Respect. Just spilling bleach everywhere. That's what we do here. Shout out to Nick for coming in clutch, holding it down on the 1s and 2s.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out.
In these games. Where'd my phone go? Oh, it's right here.
I took the Rams money line. I have a parlay banking on the Rams money line. My house may be banking on the Rams money line. Just because I thought I was getting a check today. that wasn't available. So I'm hoping the Rams.
I got the Rams as well, and I mean,
it depends on Joe B too.
It's the Eagles for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you doing?
Back in. I want to pull up my parlays
just so I can't just stop talking and just freeze.
I threw a couple parlays in.
Mitch McConnell over.
I know. Just pulled the Mitch McConnell. It's fucking. Yeah. Chris, I'm sorry, Chris.
No, I got a couple parlays in. Let me know what you guys think of them. The first one is the first game. It's I got Eagles -5.5. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Rashad White over 16.5 receiving yards, and Devontae Smith over 61.5 receiving yards. $20 to win $255.
That's against Booner. Booner took the home dogs. He took Tampa Bay +4.5.
Tampa +4.5.
Yeah.
Cover.
I like the Eagles there. A
like
lot.
the Eagles.
Yeah, I would take the 4.5 as well. I think they cover it. I think they
Nick,
win
who
by
you
a
got in the
touchdown.
games?
I like the Eagles a lot. I got them to win the by a touchdown. I was actually thinking about putting in a parlay as well, but make sure you guys check out the night show, 8 to 10 p.m. We will have a bunch of coverage on the Lions games and talk about these games in a little bit of bets.
Read, Nick. You can't just plug your own
can't
show
plug the show.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but check out Woodward Nights. These guys kill it. Nick is in the sound booth for them. It's Booner, Broder, and our guy Jalen.
Brandon Dillinger. I love Joe Rogan. One of my favorite human beings.
R.I.P. Joe Rogan.
Not a great comedian, if I'm being honest with you.
No, his stand-up's not great.
His stand-ups are not good at all.
Not
good.
But
his podcast is amazing.
Podcast fire.
Have you guys seen like the Behind the Parks, or it's like Saving the Parks or something? It's like 4 comedians. They're pretty funny on
Who's
Rogan.
the comedians?
I got a couple more bets.
Shane Gillis is one of them.
Hear your guys' opinion on. One of them is just a straight bet. It's the specials. I went to the specials, and it was Philadelphia Eagles to record 6+ sacks versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's +650. I put $10 on it to win 75.
Fuck it.
How many sacks? 6?
6 plus.
Is a lot.
What, Lions just got 7?
Lions got 7.
Oh, that's a juicy number.
And then I got for the second game, I got the Rams +3, Kyron Williams anytime touchdown, Stafford over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Stafford over 225 passing yards. $10 to pay out 61.
I hope that one hits. I pray that one hits.
Yeah.
Because I got I could go 0-3 this week in my big money league.
That would suck. But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you guys all tapping in to the Woodward Heavyweights on this Victory Monday. For Easy, for Chris, for Nick filling in, I am Spencer Raxter. Make sure you guys check out Woodward Nights coming on at 8. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review.
Shout out Dr. Detroit.
Shout out Dr. Detroit. Shout out UAW. Shout out Ronnie Cyrus. Shout out Jeff Brewster.
Shout out
Appreciate
Rachel.
all you guys. Shout out Rachel. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.